El Clásico is here. Real Madrid versus Barcelona, the biggest game in world football. And ahead of this massive clash at the Santiago Bernabéu, Vinicius Jr. has sent a powerful message to Real Madrid fans, promising fire and passion on the pitch. Meanwhile, Hansi Flick has tested his Barcelona 11 in training with Rashford, Yamal, and Ferran Torres all set to lead the attack, despite 7 key players ruled out due to injuries and illness. Stay tuned as we break down the full squad list, expected lineups, and all the latest drama before the first El Clásico of the season. Vinicius Jr. sends message to Real Madrid fans ahead of Barcelona. Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. has taken to social media on Saturday to send a message to the club's fanbase. This comes as Los Blancos prepare for their most high-profile fixture of the campaign to date. Taking to his official Instagram account, Wideman Vinicius unveiled a photo of Real supporters, accompanied by the caption, "Vinicius and his teammates are of course currently in the midst of final preparations for a return to action on Sunday." This comes ahead of a La Liga showdown with reigning champions Barcelona at the Santiago Bernabéu. The bitter rivals head into the matchup separated by just 2 points in the race for supremacy in Spain's top flight, with hosts Real Madrid boasting the advantage as things stand. Xabi Alonso's troops also have the added motivation of revenge in mind, after being utterly dominated en route to 4 defeats from 4 in El Clásico fixtures last season. Hansi Flick tests Barcelona 11 in training before Real Madrid. The lineup expected to be fielded by Barcelona in the club's upcoming showdown with Real Madrid has been unveiled online. This of course comes ahead of the season's fast-approaching first Clásico. Trailing their arch-rivals by 2 points in the race for La Liga supremacy, Barcelona will make the trip to Spain's capital tomorrow evening, to face off with table-topping Real. Hansi Flick and his staff have been left to deal with something of an injury crisis in the build-up to the clash, with several selection calls having therefore been forced upon the German. And on Saturday, Barca tested the 11 which is expected to line out at the Santiago Bernabéu in training. As per a report from Diario Sport, the following group of players took to the pitch at the Ciutat Esportiva this morning: Szczesny, Kound, Cubarsí, Eric, Bald, De Jong, Pedri, Fermin, Lamine, Rashford and Ferran Torres. It remains to be seen if this is the exact setup made use of by the visitors to Madrid, but as things stand, it looks the most likely Barcelona 11 for the Clásico. Official, Barcelona squad list to face Real Madrid La Liga MD10. FC Barcelona are set to fly to the Spanish capital tonight as they get set to take on Real Madrid in La Liga on Sunday afternoon. Ahead of their flight to Madrid, manager Hansi Flick has announced the squad list of players available at his disposal for the first El Clásico of the 2025-26 season. The big news is that Jules Kound has been included in the squad list after doubts had emerged over his availability in the past few days. The Frenchman was able to train normally today and has been past fit for the game. Barcelona have officially confirmed their squad for the upcoming El Clásico against Real Madrid, and there are a few surprises. Andreas Christensen, who had been recovering from a bout of gastroenteritis, will not make the trip despite training with the team on Friday and Saturday. On the other hand, Frenkie de Jong has been cleared to play after overcoming the same illness earlier this week. However, Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski, Joan Garcia, Dani Olmo, Gavi and Marc-Andre ter Stegen will all miss the clash due to injuries. To cover for these absences, Hansi Flick has called up several academy players, including fullbacks Xavi Espart and Jofre Torrents, as well as youngsters Diarra and Toni Fernandes. Meanwhile, new signings Marcus Rashford and Rooney Bargi are both in line to make their first ever El Clásico appearances at the Santiago Bernabéu. Flick's side is expected to line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation, featuring Ferran Torres and Frenkie de Jong among the starters. After winning all 4 Clásicos last season, including the Copa del Rey and Super Cup finals, Barcelona will be hoping to repeat that success. But things look tougher this time around, with Flick's men struggling for consistency and Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid showing a refreshed, dominant style of play. Furthermore, key absences through injury will also be a concern for Barca, as they are without Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski, Gavi, Joan Garcia, Dani Olmo, Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Andreas Christensen. The manager, who himself is suspended and will not be on the touchline, has some major decisions to make in terms of selection, particularly in the defensive line. With the top spot in the La Liga table on the line, here's how Barcelona could take the field against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu. Defense. With no Joan Garcia, Wojciech Szczesny becomes the automatic starter in goal for Barcelona. The Pole though must step up for the team, considering he has a very poor record against Kylian Mbappé. Pau Cubarsí has been a permanent fixture in defense for Barca under Flick, and that will not change tomorrow for the all-important El Clásico. As for his partner, Ronald Araujo is pushing for a start, having been used only as a substitute in the last 2 matches. But Eric Garcia should edge the Uruguayan out once again owing to his superior form. Jules Koundé should continue at right back, having been declared fit and available after recovering from a knock that led to him missing a couple of training sessions this week. Alejandro Balde will be the man deployed on the left side. Midfield. Frenkie de Jong did not start for Barcelona in midweek against Olympiacos, but he should be reinstated to the starting 11 at the Santiago Bernabéu. Teenage gem Pedro Fernandez Dro, who made his UEFA Champions League debut this week, will be the one making way for de Jong. The Netherlands international will form the double pivot in midfield for the Catalans alongside Pedri. How the pair fares in the center of the park will go a long way in deciding whether Barca win or lose tomorrow. Meanwhile, Fermin Lopez is a guaranteed starter as the lone attacking midfielder for Barcelona, after his scintillating hat-trick against Olympiacos earlier this week in the Champions League. Lamine Yamal has been in the headlines leading up to the Clásico for his comments directed at Real Madrid. Amid criticism from the Real Madrid circles, the winger will be motivated to put in another starring display at the Bernabéu like last season. Ferran Torres has recovered from his muscle strain and should get the nod as the center forward. His movement and pressing from the front can be key for Barcelona against Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. Completing the Barcelona attacking unit will be new signing Marcus Rashford, who will make his El Clásico debut on the back of a fine performance in midweek when he scored a brace. All 7 Barcelona stars ruled out of El Clásico. La Liga champions Barcelona will be forced to make do without the contributions of 7 first-team stars in Sunday's El Clásico. This comes owing to a combination of injuries and illness. Hansi Flick's traveling squad to take on Real Madrid was officially unveiled on Saturday as follows. Positive news comes in the form of the inclusions of the likes of Jules Koundé, Frenkie de Jong and Ferran Torres. The place is afforded to youngsters Xavi Espart and Jofre Torrents, though, comes owing to the ongoing personnel issues in Catalonia's capital. As alluded to above, Barcelona will be unable to call upon the following 7 players at the Santiago Bernabéu on Sunday. Section Marc-André ter Stegen. Section Joan Garcia. Section Andreas Christensen. Section Gavi. Section Dani Olmo. Section Rafinha. Section Robert Lewandowski. All except Christensen are condemned to the sidelines through injury at present, with the Dane not called up after being struck down by a bout of illness this week. And that's the latest from both camps ahead of El Clásico 2025. Vinicius Jr. is fired up, Xabi Alonso wants revenge, and Hansi Flick is fighting back despite massive injury setbacks. Who do you think will win, Real Madrid or Barcelona? Let me know your score prediction in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any breaking updates right after the match. This is your channel name, bringing you the hottest football news every day.